6th of September 2023. I'd like to talk about this. Last evening, let's bring up the images of this. Jeff Burr did not want his name associated with this movie, but it was already too late. He said to the studio, because there we go. Look, there we go. Good cast, actually. There's Benny. Haven't seen him in any other films. Okay, so last evening Michelle related to me that she would like to watch a spooky movie. She said, do you have any? And I thought, spooky. I'm like, well, I'm not like my level of spooky is The Conjuring with Patrick Wilson. I thought The Conjuring, and I also thought of Haunting in Connecticut and Paranormal Activity, and then she said to me specifically, spooky in a forest at night, and I'm like, oh, Blair Witch. I was like, Blair Witch. Because if it was forest during the day, you could have Deliverance. And anyway, Leatherface, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Part 3, 1990. I've seen this movie numerous times. And so I said, look, I said to Michelle, Texas Chainsaw 3, 1990. She hadn't seen it, and I said, yeah, it involves a forest, it involves the night, it involves a forest. And so we watched it because I had it on my external hard drive. And look, I was a bit numb toward it in regard that I've seen it at least 13 or 14 times over the years. Sometimes I watch it twice a year, maybe once a year. Let me check my recording. Now, every new time I watch it, I look for something different in it, something that I haven't seen before. Because after seeing a movie numerous times, I'm able to do that. And so I'm like, okay, what's different in it? I always get a new perspective on it, a slightly new perspective on it. Like last night, I enjoyed it a bit more than I had the previous time when I watched it. Because the previous time I watched it, I thought, I'm not going to watch this ever again. I've seen it too many times now. I don't need to watch it ever again. Yet last night, it was, I enjoyed it. And that Michelle was watching it with me, and I had no idea what she thought of it. I'm like, she's going to think, because she's seen the original, which she actually thought was funny. And she's seen Part 2, apparently, 1986. I think she thought that was funny as well. And I'm glancing over her, like, sideways just a couple of times, and she's, focused on it, and I'm like, she's thinking this is dodgy. She must be thinking this is a bit dodgy. And which a lot of fans do. I like it. Always liked it. And she's not making any comment or anything like that. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, at the end of it, I'm going to say, it is what it is. And she's like, oh, indeed. Anyway, we get to the conclusion. And I said, yeah. And I said, it is what it is. And she's like, oh, yeah. And then she's like, Michelle says to me, that is the scariest movie I've seen. That was terrifying. I'm like, really? I said, did that scare you? She's like, I was terrified. I'm like, oh. She's like, that was really well done. Like, that was the best one I've seen. Like, do you mean of the Texas Chainsaw? She's like, yes. I'm like, you don't mean more than the original, the 73 original? She's like, oh yes. She's like, yes. And I'm like, you thought that was scarier than the original? She's like, oh my gosh, but she's like, that was terrifying. I'm like, so then I just thought, you know what? Everyone reacts differently to every movie. Everyone reacts differently. They have a different reaction. And so I thought, back to when the first time I'd seen it. And the first time I saw it, yeah, I thought it was intense and gripping. But I've seen it like 13 or 14 times since then. And that was Michelle's first viewing of it. And yeah, I can understand how you'd see a movie in a television, like you'd be seeing it for the first time. Obviously, it's gonna. And she said the pacing was good, everything was well done, well constructed. And I said, because you know what, I'd like a bit more with Benny. A bit more with Benny. She's like, no, everything was. It was nice. The time allocated to everything was really good. It was really good. And I said to her, do you know that Jeff Burr, the director, the studio, that's the studio version. Version C is the final studio version, which the execs put together. And Jeff Burr said, please remove my name from this project. I don't want my name associated with this movie. And they said, and by the time he said that, it was too late. His name was there, because things went wrong during the making of the movie. Just financial things just didn't go too well. And he said I would have made a very different cut to that. That's not the cut that I would have made. And so he doesn't really like too much to be associated with that. This has a bit of a rough around the edges 90s. Well, I mean, it was made in 1990, but as years passed, the perspective, notion of things can change. I thought that all the players in this movie did very well. Did extremely well. Played their parts very well. Everyone achieved their level of what they would. I just thought everyone did really well in this movie. I didn't say it's gritty. The first one's gritty. This one's there's humour in it, and also if you look at this from an outside point of view, if I looked at this as just a movie without it being like if I was like, okay, so not thinking about it as a Texas Chainsaw movie, just a movie, and it actually works quite well. I don't think the movie works. I'm a metalhead, yes, but I don't think the music goes with the movie so well. I don't think it does, and I am a metalhead, but I don't think the music goes with the movie. And Michelle totally disagreed. She's like, oh, I love the music in it. So, Kate Hodge and William Butler, right? Michelle and Ryan. Now, their interaction is intense interaction. Like, yeah, you could make it smoother. But for that time, and do you need to? I mean, for the time of what it was, do you need to make it smoother? Do you need to change anything about this? I think it still does hold up. It does well, and it's a worthy installment. Now, I don't know what the majority of fans think of this, but I know there's a certain percentage of fans. Where do you get Rotten Tomatoes out of curiosity? Look, I've actually always liked this, and every time I watch it, I always say I'm never watching it ever again. Yeah, Jeff Burr, director, budget of $2 million, distributed by New Line Cinema, released on 12th of January 1990, and I have it on DVD. I've got the DVD of this, and the Rotten Tomatoes. Funny with Rotten Tomatoes. We've got a 1 star out of 5 on Rotten Tomatoes. Look, I can sort of understand why, but yeah, what a worthy installment, because I do keep going back to it. It's a different entity. It's its own character. I actually think it holds up well. I didn't expect Michelle to say that she's terrified by it. She thought it was really good. But the thing is, or it is subjective. At the end of the day, it's subjective. It's certainly a cut above the standard late 80s horror film, though hardly up to the level of Tobe Hooper's original. Mm-hmm. Box office gross 5.8 million. I would have liked more time spent with Benny, because I liked Benny. And if you haven't seen Leatherface before, if you haven't seen part 3, definitely watch the original, then watch part 2, 1986 part 2. Not many people realise or aware that there's a bit, because it kind of went into obscurity. I think it was out of you know, not it was out of cut for a while. 1986 part 2. And because of the sequels, everything was thrown. You say part 2, and many people think of the remake, the beginning, which is before the original, like set before the original. But 1986 Part 2 with Dennis Hopper, classic, dark satire, great movie. Watch it. And then this is very good. All right, so Leatherface. What I would really like is if Jeff Burr would somehow, if Jeff Burr put his version together, if he could be bothered, if he'd be willing to. I would like to see his version of it. I always keep going back to it. Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Part 3, 1990. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. And very good. Thank you for watching. And I've got it on DVD because I bought it on DVD. I bought it on DVD in the 90s. I've got my original copy. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching.